Hey, Coach Falk. I know a lot of times what we ask aren't represented concretely. So when we're creating this Canvas stuff, I wanted to help you create a day, what we might exceed in our classrooms in terms of engaging actual activities. And what does an I do, you do, we do mean in ninth grade physical science? So we know the next week's standard from our pacing guide says that we are modeling physical science, right? So periodic trends. So our first lesson should be some sort of introduction to that, to the periodic table, into patterns of elements. So here, our Due Now Monday is a short video over a YouTube video, right? And our question is, how do you think scientists can use properties of existing elements to predict the existence of synthetic? That's a big word that just means man-made, and that's how you would explain it to the kids. So man-made elements, and so they would be expected to answer the question and reply to somebody else in the question because it's a discussion question. So that would be the first part of today. And the great thing about doing all of these is the kid can just hit next and they move on to the next assignment. So here's the I do. You talk to them about this. You say, when trying to decide what color to paint a wall, you might view paint samples to compare your choices. Samples on a palette might have similar color, but vary by shade or intensity, blah, 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 blah. And then you ask them the question. Recognizing patterns is an extremely important skill for scientists. How might a chemist use patterns to understand phenomena? Then they can reply to that, and you can have a classroom discussion. Then you make a claim. What patterns will help you determine if any paint chips are missing from the set? What would you consider when determining which arrangement of paint chips is most beneficial to customers? And then they would be able to type in a text box the answer to that question. Okay, so that would be their second assignment for the day. I always usually have two, and that's the we do. So the I do, well, that's kind of is the we do, and now we're moving into the you do because you did that with them. You just talked over them, the I do and the we do. And here are a bunch of paint chips, same picture. Here is their activity, their assignment. They will go through this Google Slides. They'll make their own. So I always let them make copies. So they'll open it up. This will make them automatically their own copy, which is great about this. So they enable editing. Now here's all the paint chips. Here's painting. So on the next slide are a lot of colors. Lay them all out so you can see them side to side. So they will have all these colors. They have to arrange them so that they can see them side by side. Moves into the next question. Make a list of the arrangements. So how they could do that is let's say take a screenshot. All the kids should be pretty good at screenshot. If they're not, on the Chromebook, it's control and it's a little square with two lines. So they can take a screenshot and then make a list of all the possible arrangements. Then they're going to choose the three best arrangements. And then they're going to tell you what colors are missing from that group of colors. So they're like, oh, what colors are missing? Because it's a pattern, right? It's a periodic pattern. And how would you and when they tell you what colors are missing, they can ask you, how do you describe these colors to others? And conclusion, what should you consider when determining which arrangement of paint chip cards or our boxes of colors is most beneficial for our customers? So for paint customers, which of their arrangements is best? Make sure you give examples from your data to support the claim. So all those arrangements you made. Reasoning, explain how the evidence you give supports the claim. And then you have your first activity that takes all day. You're talking about none of it. So for the arrangements, how I would suggest them do it originally is just align them. So let's say blah, 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 blah.